Why are the Russians, every time we turn around, jabbing us in the eye and trying to figure out how to gum up the works?
Well, it takes a little bit of time to get a resolution like this through a 15-nation body such as the Security Council. I like the way this is drawn. It's very narrow. It's focused on a specific set of exports that would be banned to North Korea. It has a chance, but it's going to run into some opposition from Russia and China, who on principle don't like applying these kinds of sanctions, largely because they're afraid that someday we might apply them to behavior that we don't like that they're doing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's Putin just trying to stick it in the eye again against us. It seems every time we need them, they go out the window. In fact, they even try to hurt us. Joe, let's talk about the Clinton administration. In 1994, there was a negotiation where we were supposed to provide some nuclear reactors to them that couldn't be used to convert into plutonium to make bombs. And we were supposed to do these things for them. They were supposed to have no nuclear program. Then we find out in 2002 they were cheating. Did the Clinton administration just blow this?
I think all the previous administrations have not acted as resolutely as they should have. As you know, the North Korean nuclear program began under Ronald Reagan and continued under the first President Bush. That's where they got the reactors. That's where they processed their first 2 sets of bomb materials. Clinton, to his credit, froze the program, but then never followed through to actually close it down completely. When George W. Bush came to office, I think he made the biggest mistake of all. He just ignored the problem. He let the North Koreans walk over every red line that we had drawn. They opened up their reactor. They processed perhaps as many as 8 new bombs worth of plutonium. And now we see the results. We've lost control of the situation. It's time for President Bush to get control back.
Yeah, but Joe, there was a lot of talk that they were developing and getting close to having nukes when Bill Clinton was president. I get the sense they kicked the can, just down the street, trying to hope this would just go away with a deal in '94 that meant we would trust them. Bill, what's your take on this?
Oh, I think the agreed framework was an exercise in extortion on the part of the North Koreans. Basically, we were going to pay them if they wouldn't develop nuclear weapons. And the fact of the matter is they lied, and they secretly developed a uranium enrichment program outside of their plutonium program.
Bill, Joe does make a point that the administration refused to engage them in talks. And then the talks were on, they were off. And now we're involved in this whole standoff with Iran. We got the problems in Iraq. Has this sort of given this guy who's the leader of North Korea the incentive to go out there and try to do these kinds of things? Is he seeking attention? Have we been distracted from this?
Absolutely. I think it was a huge mistake to make concessions to the Iranians on their illegal nuclear program. North Korea saw that. Now they want concessions from the United States. That's clearly what was behind the recent missile tests. I think we've got some very difficult negotiations going on, and I think you have to question whether a rogue state like North Korea can be an honest party in any type of negotiations, whether it's two-way or six-party.
No, my view is that unless you have the Chinese leaning on them, you can forget about it. That's the only way to verify any of this. Joe, let me ask you about the former Defense Secretary Perry, who has actually advocated a military strike against the missile as it sits on a launching pad. Your view of that?
Well, the administration properly rejected that option as both unnecessary and potentially dangerous. We all know that any act like that would be an act of war against another country, and you run the risk that North Korea could retaliate, say, by lobbing some of their short-range missiles on U.S. troops stationed in South Korea. Then what do you do? Or busing school children to the test site. Then what do you do? It's a poorly considered plan. The good news about all this has been overlooked a little by the concentration on the Scuds that they fired into the Sea of Japan. The main item, the Typo Dung, turned out to be a Typo Dud. It blew up on the launch pad. This is the second time they've tried to launch one of these, the first in '98. It failed. I think the North Korean missile program is going backwards, and that's good news for us.
Well, on the other hand, it may be that they get some insight from this test, and I would like to explore. We don't have the time now.
You don't learn much by a blow-up.
A guy like this with a intercontinental ballistic missile and potentially nuclear capability, that is something that I worry about, not just for me, but for my children and everybody in the free world. I want to thank you both for being with us. Coming up, the military option. General Wesley Clark gives his thoughts on North Korea, and later, convicted Enron head Ken Lay dies of a heart attack without ever serving a single day in prison for massive fraud. We're going to look at his life of luxury when the Factor returns.
America's first name in automotive innovation, Ford, is working together with the world's most trusted name in automobile safety, Volvo, on a common mission, developing breakthrough safety innovations to help protect children, keep families safer, and save lives.
We're renewing our commitment to driving American innovation. At the core of that effort is your safety, because every single life saved is worth it.
Okay, what's with the phone? You had that out all night.
Oh, it's not just a phone. It takes photos with this little camera, and it also records little video clips.
Hallway, kitchen, dining room. Here he comes.
The right floor makes everybody happy. That's why Lowe's has the widest selection of any national retailer, whether it's tile, hardwood, or carpet. We'll even install it for you. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on purchases of $299 or more now through July 9th.
We're back. The Geico Gecko. So now here's the thing I don't understand. People could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance by switching to Geico.
Right.
So I have to ask, why does Geico even need a talking gecko?
Well, entertainment.
How's that?
Look, you can't just tell people that Geico could save them money. It's true, yes, but it's a bit boring. So you have a little gecko entertain, play a little guitar or whatever. They think they're watching entertaining television, but they're actually watching a commercial.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The invasion's begun. They may be after me now.
No, I'm after them. The bugs and the germs they carry. Man, we're not allowed to have anyone in the truck.
Protect your home. Protect your family. For help, call 800-800-ORCAN.
Water in one room can mean water damage in the walls and ceilings of other rooms as well. So call the water cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO. Like it never even happened.
Saturday, North Korean missile crisis sends investors running for cover. Is your money in the line of fire? Plus, consumers feel pain at the pump and Democrats promise relief. But can they really deliver? Saturday, the best business news is on the cost of freedom. Saturday, straightforward and hard-hitting. Kasich confronts real issues facing all Americans.
Folks, that's why we call it Heartland.
Then, breaking down the evidence.
This is unbelievable.
And exposing the truth.
Is the DA's case falling apart?
Today's biggest crime cases are on the lineup.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Donna Fiducia. North Korea has 3 to 5 more short to mid-range missiles on launch pads. That's what U.S. officials are telling Fox News. They say the missiles are of no threat to the United States, but they could reach areas like Japan. Meanwhile, according to the Associated Press, Japan's chief government spokesman says there are no signs that North Korea is planning another immediate launch of a long-range missile like the failed one that Pyongyang fired earlier in the week. Israel sending more tanks and troops into Gaza to stop rocket attacks on southern Israel. The push into Gaza came after Hamas militants fired improved, longer-range rockets into the heart of a major Israeli city for the second straight day. Elsewhere in Mexico, the leftist candidate for president reportedly has a slim lead as ballots are being recounted. That's with about 88% of the tally sheets reviewed, according to the Associated Press. There was no way to know exactly how that trend might indicate how the final results are going to look. And oil prices closing at a new record high, settling above $75 a barrel. So analysts are now saying that could send gas prices higher by the weekend, perhaps boosting the average cost of gallon, possibly over $3. Oil shipping and refining problems have raised trader concerns and global tensions over the situation with North Korea. We'll see you after the bottom of the hour. The O'Reilly Factor returns right now.
The Impact segment is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
In the Impact segment tonight, as the North Koreans thumb their nose at the world, what military options are on the table? Joining us now from Little Rock, Arkansas, Fox News analyst General Wesley Clark. General, you know, yesterday when I heard about this, I just shook my head. I worry about my kids. Ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, combined with perhaps a nuclear program. I mean, I can't think of a scarier scenario, particularly when those items are in the hands of somebody like this man that's running North Korea. Your take on it?
Well, the world's a dangerous place, and North Korea is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. They do have an enormous military potential, a million-man army. They've got chemical weapons, biological weapons, we believe, and nuclear weapons now, and the means to deliver. So this is a place where war could occur. It would be a really ugly, nasty place, and war might occur by accident or miscalculation. So we have to understand we are in a dangerous situation. Now, my take on it would be that what the leader over there wants, Kim Jong-il, is he wants recognition from the United States. He wants exactly what the president said today, which is to join the world community. But the key to that is to join the world community is the United States has got to welcome him in.
But
so
General,
we got to talk to him.
Yeah, but here's the only problem with that. In '94, we sat down and talked to him, and we made a deal. Then we found out they cheated from the agreement wasn't even dry yet, and we knew they were cheating on it.
Well, not exactly.
What are we going to talk to him about?
Not exactly from the beginning of the agreement, but you're right, John. This is a regime that is struggling for survival, and it's going to cheat if it can get away with it. But that doesn't mean that you can't talk. So my prescription on this would be that we do direct dealing with the North Koreans, that we talk to them directly, that we bring to them under the table quietly a package of incentives and a package of threats. That package of incentives includes, they've already said what they want. They want a nuclear reactor. Fine, put it in the demilitarized zone where we can watch over it and they can have the power from it. And then couple it with verification of no other nuclear activities. Get some inspection teams into the country. It's tit for tat. They're very tough bargainers.
But General, this what bothers me about this, and I'd love to think that this is the way out of this mess. And you know, maybe we're going to find it is. I'm always believing in talking before we don't. But in '94, that's precisely what was agreed to. We give them these nuclear capable reactors, and we make a deal with them. We bring them into the community, and then they go out and cheat. And now William Perry, your old boss, the former Secretary of Defense under Bill Clinton, said we ought to blow this rocket off of the launching pad.
Well,
I mean, he's advocating a military effort here. I mean, how long are we going to talk before this guy keeps advancing his program?
Well, we've got to both talk and act and constrain. There's no single solution that we're going to ever like with North Korea. Look, if this government imploded, we'd be left with 23 million mostly starving, angry, and armed North Koreans.
Better than rather than a guy with a missile. Better that than a guy with a missile, intercontinental missile, and a nuclear warhead. Why don't we put the heat on the Chinese and get serious with the Chinese? They're the enforcers, aren't they?
Because, John, the Chinese really aren't the enforcers. To be honest with you, we're the ones that have the power over North Korea, because they believe that we do. We have our army still stationed in South Korea. We're the backbone of deterrence in the Northeast Asian area. We have our ships there. We have our aircraft there in Japan. We hold the trump cards, and we're the preeminent power in a very dangerous world. We need to be leading. So we talk, we threaten, we offer blandishments, we watch for the cheating, and we control it. But remember this, John. We were moving in the right direction in 1998, 1999, and even 2000. There was dialogue. It was only after 2001 and the election in which it was the United States which cut off the dialogue
General,
with North Korea.
There was talk all along by defense experts who said that they had been cheating all along. And the problem is, how do you inspect when they're the most secret country in the world?
You've got to put the leverage on, John.
What leverage? What kind of leverage?
They will always try to get an advantage. That's the North Korean way.
All right, so where's the leverage we have on them?
But just a second, I want to make this is a very important point.
Okay.
In 1994, we were at the brink of going to war with North Korea. Instead, we had an agreement that forestalled that crisis. It forestalled it for years. Now, we're going to move toward the brink. We named him a member of the Axis of Evil. They're ratcheting up the pressure. We can respond by ratcheting up the pressure in turn, and we can move to the brink of war. What I would submit to you is that we need to be, at the same time we're strong, we need to find a way out of it.
We got to talk to him. I agree, talk. You know, maybe Reagan's right. You know, trust but verify, but can't trust them, but verify should be a key to this. Thanks for being with us, General.
There's a company that builds more than 1 million vehicles a year in places called Indiana and Kentucky. One that has 10 plants, from the foothills of West Virginia to the Pacific coastline. What company is this? Toyota. A company that, along with its dealers and suppliers, has helped create hundreds of thousands of U.S. jobs. A company proud to do its small part to add to the landscape of America.
Yeah, no, I gotta go. Yeah, I'm getting on. I totally spaced on that one. That was bad.
Let's just use your Capital One no hassle card.
Protect yourself with Capital One's low rates and great rewards.
I am so good.
What's in your wallet?
Oh, yeah!
Is this really true?
Would you like to be a Publishers Clearinghouse winner tomorrow?
Oh, wow.
Now you can, because there's a new winner every day.
This is real!
You could even win $1 million before the summer's over. Go to PCH.com, enter today, win tomorrow.
Will the bank cash a check this big?
Or watch your mail and enter at once.
I'm not going to be throwing those envelopes away anymore.
This is the summer for you to win.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
Gracias, Manuel.
You know him?
Yes. He's my ex-boyfriend.
Bold moves. They happen every day. Comcast and TNT will have you on the edge of your seat. The show that redefined the cop drama is back. The new season. Kira Sedgwick returns as The Closer. Mondays at 9 p.m. on TNT, Comcast Channel 54. When it counts, you lay it all on the line. When it counts, second place is not an option. The drama of NASCAR on all season long on TNT, Comcast Channel 54. When it counts, it's on Comcast and TNT.
The Slowskis?
Hi.
We moved here a couple of years ago for the Great Pond out back.
I love it. I'm like a fish.
This house is also far from the DSL central office or remote terminal, which makes our DSL connection slower, as opposed to Comcast, which is fast no matter where you live.
I didn't know you could read.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Connect fast from anywhere with Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
In the First Factor flashback segment tonight, the death of Enron founder and chairman Ken Lay. He was 64. As you may know, Lay was convicted in May of massive business fraud that led Enron into total collapse and cost millions of Americans their hard-earned dollars. All the while, he lived a large, extravagant lifestyle. A few years ago, Bill spoke with Sharon Watkins, the woman who blew the whistle on corruption within Enron. Sharon Watkins.
A lot of people had a lot of money in their 401ks. I was one of them. Enron was in there. CNBC guys going, oh, Enron, greatest company in the world. So blindly, people put their money in trust in this company, and they did it with Global Crossing, and they did it with, dozens of other companies, and then boom. So now, more than a year later, we can't figure out why Ken Lay isn't in cuffs. Can you tell us?
Well, it's actually called the Ken Lay defense. Prior to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act passing, a CEO could claim that he was out to lunch, asleep at the switch, wasn't paying attention, so I didn't know I was breaking the law. Sorry.
You buying that?
Well, no, and not too many people are. And it upset congressmen so much that they put a provision in the Sarbanes-Oxley Act that makes it much easier to send executives to jail now.
All right, let's talk about Lay. Guy lived large, had houses all over the place, opulent lifestyle on every, his wife had all kinds of stuff. Do you know this guy? Did you talk with him?
I did not know him very well at all. He really wasn't busy running the company. He was busy doing community projects, building a state-of-the-art baseball stadium here in Houston, helping George Bush get elected.
So he was basically the front man who would schmooze with the power brokers and put the Enron name out there. Is it possible then that Lay had no idea the company was being built by his CEO Skilling and all these other guys, and they were putting out bogus reports? Is that possible?
Well, it is, but sometimes I liken it to a doting father that, the high school guidance counselor has called to say, your daughter's running with the wrong crowd and it looks like she might be starting to do drugs. And you ask your daughter, sweetheart, are you doing drugs? And she says, no, Daddy. So you say, oh, I didn't think so. You've got to look at evidence. If we're great, there were other people besides me that had put up warning signs
and he just ignored them. He just ignored them. Because one of the worst things that he did was, after you and some of your peers warned the company that it was, didn't have the profits to buck up what their price was or meet the projections of what they were saying, that Lay went on the internet to all the company employees, many of whom held a lot of stock in it. And I said, oh, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Be confident. Buy more. Didn't he do that? He said, buy more stuff.
Exactly. This was after Jeff Skilling resigned, and in the fall of 2001, he said, and this is after I had met with him, he said, we have no accounting irregularities. Now's a good time to buy the stock. Talk it up with your family and friends. It's a good buy right now.
All right. And it was a lie. Now, the question is whether he knew it was a lie or he was just an idiot. Your opinion?
Right.
And your opinion is? Come on, Miss Watkins, just an opinion now.
I think he's the Chauncey Gardner of CEOs. I think he was just he's being there. He's in the right place at the right time, but I kind of fall on the idiot side.
Yeah. All right, then you can't put him in jail for being an idiot, but I would find a way. Now, how is he living in Houston? He still lives in the city. Is he around? Do you see him?
He's not around much, and when he does get out, he tends to surround himself by some grandchildren, so people that feel ill towards him don't come up and verbally assault him.
Is that right? I mean, have there been any incidents of people, acting untoward toward this man?
They'll certainly make comments, but he's got people are reserved because he did give so much Enron money to the community.
Mm-hmm. But he still lives in a nice house and all of that business, right?
Yeah, he lives in a $7 million house, and I think he's down to his last $10 million.
All right, Ms. Watkins, thanks very much. We know what this is all about. I would find a way, some way.
Lay was scheduled to be sentenced in October for his crimes. He faced decades in prison. Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. The latest twist in the Rush Limbaugh prescription drug case. He won't be charged in Palm Beach, but he might not be off the hook yet. We'll explain. And then, is President Bush changing his tune on illegal immigration? Very interesting. We'll have a report. The O'Reilly Factor will be back in just a moment. Come on back, folks.
He kind of looks like a baby. Come here, I'm gonna eat you!
This guy's crazy.
Baby back, baby back, baby back.
But you want to know what's even crazier?
I want my baby
Settling for anything less than DirecTV.
Baby.
Especially now, since you can get 4 months of their best programming for free.
Come on! Get in my belly!
Get your fill of our best programming package free for 4 months. There's good TV, there's better TV, and then there's DirecTV.
Like going out? I'm bloated, irregular.
Probably stress from exams. And look how it makes us eat.
So how come you're okay?
I eat Activia every day.
Introducing smooth, delicious Dannon Activia. With the natural culture Bifidus regularis, it's clinically proven to help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
It's good. I feel great.
Help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, hi. You want to save money on gas? How about 10%? Get the Marathon Platinum MasterCard from Chase and receive a 10% rebate for the first 60 days. That's about 25 cents a gallon. Then save 5% after that. Here's an application.
Sure.
Thanks. I gotta go. I need it on pump 5.
If you've had a heart attack that reduced how well your heart pumps, hear this. Your heart medications may not be enough protection. Coreg is FDA approved to increase your chance of survival when taken over time. Adding Coreg to your current treatment can help prevent another heart attack. Coreg reduces your heart's workload to help it pump better. That should be music to your ears.
Coreg is not for everyone, including people prone to asthma, certain heart rhythm problems, slow heart rate, or liver problems. Once you start Coreg, you should continue as directed by your doctor. Patients who abruptly stop may experience chest pain or an increased risk of heart attack. In some cases, patients may experience dizziness or faintness when starting Coreg. You should avoid driving or hazardous tasks if this occurs.
Ask your doctor if Coreg is right for you. Adding Coreg adds cardio protection.
In the Factor follow-up segment tonight, Palm Beach prosecutors have decided not to file charges against Rush Limbaugh after finding a bottle of Viagra in his luggage prescribed to a third party. Last month, Limbaugh was detained for 3 hours at a Palm Beach airport and publicly embarrassed after returning from the Dominican Republic. Now, prosecutors have decided the pills were legitimately prescribed, but why Limbaugh may not be off the hook yet, we're going to talk about. Joining us now from West Palm Beach is Michelle Suskauer, a criminal defense attorney. All right, Michelle, where does this stand at this point in time? I understand they're going to go down to Dade County and talk to people. What's this all about?
Well, you know, Rush Limbaugh is on an 18-month pretrial intervention agreement with the state attorney's office in Palm Beach County, and he had certain conditions that he had to fulfill. Number one, he had to go for some drug treatment. He has to give a sizable donation, which I think he may have already done, and he certainly can't get in trouble with the law. And that's really sort of the sticking point that we find ourselves in now, because as we all know, he was stopped at the Palm Beach airport by Customs in possession of a bottle of Viagra that was in a third party's name. So the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office could have reviewed this, which they did, and they decided that they were not going to upset the agreement, but sort of at this point passed the buck to Dade County, where the doctor actually wrote the prescription from, saying, listen, if you guys want to do something with it, you can go ahead, but we're not going to disturb our agreement.
Pretty bizarre to me, because the state's attorney's office, and I'll quote, thus the medication contained in the subject pill bottle was legitimately prescribed to the suspect by his physician. I mean, what's strange, Michelle, with, you know, first of all, a guy comes in a private plane, they all know who he is, okay? So he spends 3 hours being held up, and they find a bottle of Viagra. Now, we know he was in trouble because of pain medication. Viagra's not a narcotic. So, I mean, come on now. What the heck would they hassle this guy for over Viagra?
Well, first of all, let's just back up for a second. Whether you're on a private plane or a commercial aircraft, you still go through customs if you're coming in from out of the country. He was in the Dominican, so he went through customs. Now, the reason why he was held for 3 hours wasn't because he was Rush Limbaugh. It was because they did a search of his you know, private stuff, and they found that he was in possession of this Viagra that wasn't in his name. Now,
Michelle,
what just is
it's Viagra. It's not a narcotic.
Oh, you're right.
Come on.
You're right. You're right, and I agree that nothing is going to happen to him other than this public lashing that he got.
But why? Is this a
embarrassment.
political assassination? Is that what this is? Is this designed?
No, I really don't think it's a political assassination, just like I didn't think that the first case was a political assassination.
But wait a minute.
He got a very good result.
Yeah, but he did nothing wrong here, and now they're sending it to South Florida to take a look at the same thing that the state's attorney in Palm Beach said he didn't do anything. I mean, come
Well,
on.
wait a second. I don't agree with you. I don't agree that he did nothing wrong. Listen, I think ultimately
Michelle,
what happened
the
to
law
him
in
is probably
Florida
his just
says
reward.
that a physician is able to prescribe medication in a third party's name if all parties are aware and the doctor documents it, which is exactly what's happened. And the guy wasn't carrying narcotics. He's got Viagra. I mean,
it's
if that's
amazing
not
to me.
political, what is?
Well, but that's really amazing to me because during my review of the statutes, there was nowhere that I could find the privacy exception to prescription fraud. You have to write a prescription in the individual's name,
Michelle,
or else
but
you're
the state
perpetrating
attorney,
a fraud.
but there's only one problem with what you're saying. First of all, you're a defense attorney, and you're acting like a prosecutor. Number two is that, wait a minute, is that the state's attorney said he didn't do anything wrong. Come on.
And I think, and I'm
then
telling
who
you
leaked
as a
this
defense
story
attorney.
to the media? Who got this story out there? Huh? I mean, every time they find somebody, they hold somebody customs, they leak it to the media so they can embarrass somebody? Come on, don't you see this?
Listen, as a defense lawyer, I don't think anything should happen to him, and I don't think the pretrial intervention agreement should be disturbed. But what I'm saying is, it's just pretty arrogant of Rush Limbaugh, when he knows he's on the radar screen,
to
carry around a prescription in to carry around a prescription in someone else's name.
All right, Michelle, I think Florida's decided they can do it. But listen, you've done such a good job. I'm gonna talk to Rush and see if he'll hire you. Maybe I can get you on his team and we can knock this stuff off. It's a little silly. Michelle, thanks for being with us. Up next, the most controversial segment of the evening, what to do about the border. Is Bush compromising and caving in? We'll be back with that in a minute.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Donna Fiducia. U.S. officials telling Fox News that North Korea has 3 to 5 additional short-range missiles to long-range missiles on launch pads. Now, U.S. officials also tell Fox News that they know the North Koreans have other long-range missiles, but there are no word if they're being prepared for launch. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is saying earlier that she believes 6-party talks are the best way to deal with the standoff over the launches. Also, Secretary Rice warning Iran that world powers won't let it drag its feet on a proposal to resolve the crisis over its nuclear program. The Secretary of State saying the regime should respond to the package of incentives before this month's G8 summit. Iran was supposed to meet with European Union representatives today. They're now set to meet tomorrow. All bets are off in New Jersey. Literally, Atlantic City casinos are the latest businesses affected by the state government shutdown. The state-monitored gambling houses closed their doors this morning. Governor John Corzine shutting down all non-essential state services after lawmakers failed to reach a budget agreement last week. Well, a new report saying that stomach cancer patients live longer if they get chemotherapy before and after surgery. Researchers saying that chemo cuts the risk of death by 0.25% compared to surgery alone. Next news break comes your way at the top of the hour. The O'Reilly Factor continues after this break.
They say that in life, there's only room for one great passion. Unless you're really clever. Viagra. Viagra can help guys with all degrees of erectile dysfunction, from mild to severe.
Before taking Viagra, make sure you're healthy enough to have sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain because it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away. Viagra is one of several ED treatments you and your doctor can consider.
Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Who ruins your day? It's me, the Lord of Mishap!
Level 5. Game over.
Farmers Help Point, putting things right the moment they go wrong. Farmers, get you back where you belong.
The Mercury Mariner is the SUV that proves you don't have to give up anything to get everything. looks and performance that are winning over Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 owners. Make that ex-owners. Need more power? Go for the V6. The compact SUV has never been in better shape. Mercury Mariner. Now get Mercury Mariner, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, 2 years running at this great rate. You've got to put Mercury on your list.
Pink Floyd, Pulse. Their last tour, now for the first time ever on DVD. Call or log on to pulsedvd.com now to order.
Don't be afraid to care.
Get 4 hours of Pink Floyd, including 2 hours of live concert on 2 DVDs, including the first ever filmed performance of their seminal album, The Dark Side of the Moon. Plus, amazing bonus features, including a documentary, concert screen projections, and more. Pink Floyd, Pulse, their last tour, at last on DVD. To order your copy today, call or log on to pulsedvd.com now.
The #1 show that dominates cable news, The O'Reilly Factor.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm John Kasich in for Bill O'Reilly. In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, congressional Republicans are taking their show on the road this week in a nationwide campaign to overhaul immigration laws and tougher border security. Senate Republicans, well, they're trying to build support for a bill that would pretty much give amnesty to a majority of illegals that are already in this country. House Republicans want a much tighter border and immigration enforcement, and they don't want a guest worker program. And now the president reportedly seems more open to the House plan. Joining us now from New York, Republican pollster Kellyanne Conway and Democratic strategist Kirsten Powers. All right, Kellyanne, for a president that doesn't like to compromise or cave, I might say, it looks as though maybe there's a little bit of a cave going on. I would welcome it personally. What's the story?
The story is that he finally gave Congressman Mike Pence, it was supposed to be a 10 or 20-minute meeting according to today's New York Times, but he gave him 40 minutes to explain his plan. And his plan does not include immediate deportation and permanent deportation. It allows you to go back to your country of origin almost with the engine running to return back to the U.S. through a safe and legal path. So it's somewhere between the ostrich version of look the other way, which some in the Senate, including Republicans, would like to do. Let's just look the other way at the fact that 11 million people got here illegally. And it's somewhere between that and I think some of the more heartless, bullish plans on the table, which would just send them back and never allow them in again.
In other words, you would call it heartless, Kelly, if it says that if you jump the fence or ditch the line, you get in ahead of people who wait. For me, I don't think it's heartless. I think it's common sense.
Let me clarify. That is not what I mean whatsoever. What I think is that I don't know when we, as a party, frankly, in the Republican Party, got past the word illegal to even be discussing the immigration part. We're supposed to be the rule of law party, and we certainly were during the Clinton years. So I'm as disturbed as anyone that we sort of just flick our wrist at the rule of law. Because because Mayor Bloomberg said today that New York would collapse if there were not illegals.
I'm not for giving people a chance to ditch the line and get in to the country or Superman or anything else. Stand in line, wait your turn. All right, so it's going to this is going to focus really on border enforcement.
Yes.
And so, Kirsten, are the Democrats going to support enforcing the border first before anything else? I mean, will they go along with that? Look, let's control the border and let's let the rest of it come later once we've controlled the border.
Well, I mean, the question isn't just are the Democrats going to support it, it's are the Republicans in the Senate going to support it?
But and right now, for Democrats.
Right now, it looks like people are still saying they want comprehensive reform, which means you need to deal with the people that are in the country. The idea that you're just going to punt this until after the elections, the fact that you have 12 million people living in this country.
Kirsten, that's not what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is, if they pass a bill in the House that says, before we deal with the 12 million who are here illegally, okay?
That's
what
punting.
We're going to do is they came in, they jumped into the country.
And not all since Bush was president.
But John, that's no different than what I just said.
Wait a minute, Kirsten. are Democrats willing to say, before we deal with guest worker or amnesty or anything else, we're going to secure the border? Will they go along with that?
My guess is that they probably won't. But I mean, if somehow this happens and you can get a bill that can somehow reconcile the Senate and the House, I mean, I think you guys are really downplaying the differences. You know, saying that that we're not going to deport people. That is exactly what the House bill says. Sending people back to Mexico is deporting them.
Okay, but here's what I don't understand. I don't want to get into the details of the House or Senate bill. I want to establish one fact. Well, how could a politician be opposed to saying, before we do anything else, let's shut the border down so people can't come in illegally?
John, I think that's a really great question. And if you read the Washington Times today, a conservative newspaper, they talk about how George Bush has actually done a worse job than Bill Clinton did, in dealing with border security. That Bill Clinton increased security border agents by 126%, and Bush did it by 22%. The article also talks about the fact that Democrats have been trying to get money for border security, specifically Senator Byrd, and they've been rejected by the Republicans.
Okay, well,
so this is a charade on the part of the Republicans trying to pretend that their main concern is border security.
Yeah, well,
that is
we
not
need
a charade.
we need a comprehensive bill.
I'm not here representing the Republican National Committee, George Bush, or anybody else.
I didn't say you are.
I just want to know, Kellyanne, why we can't control the border first, and then all this other debate can come later. This is a national security issue, isn't it?
It absolutely must come first, and with nothing else in its wake. In other words, what the president did today, John, is that he has resequenced the order of priorities, and for my money, he's done it in the right way. You can't talk about path to citizenship and all this other stuff until we know that we're stemming the tide of people, and especially in a post 9/11 world. It would have been relevant before this. But look, there are other tenets in this comprehensive immigration reform.
I don't understand.
Like the basic pilot program. I think making businesses more responsible for not hiring illegals is the other right way to go. The president's talking about that. I'd love to see the Democrats get on board with that.
All right, look, we only have a few seconds left. Is no bill better than a bad bill? Kellyanne?
No, that would not be good this year, actually.
All right, how about you, Kirsten? Is no bill better than a bad bill?
Do you mean politically?
Yeah,
Yeah, no bill is horrible for the president.
Why do you say that, Kirsten?
I think it is bad for the president and the Republicans because they've made this a central issue and they're in charge of everything. And if they can't get a bill passed, then it really questions their leadership ability.
The Democrats will even vote against a good bill.
That's not true. The Democrats have been very supportive of immigration reform.
We're going to have to leave it there. My experience is doing something wrong is never better than doing the right thing. I shut it down until they come up with the right thing. Next up. He rules with an iron fist and lives like an aging rock star, insists on being called their leader. Is Kim Jong-il crazy like a fox or just plain nuts? We're going to have a report and the latest internet scam. You want to come back and see this? It affects your kids.
Because Fox is where the news is.
For people with diabetes, testing with Freestyle is virtually pain-free. Freestyle uses the world's smallest blood sample size. And that means happy fingers. Ask your healthcare professional about Freestyle blood glucose monitors.
Act now for our best offer yet. Unlimited local and long distance for just $19.99 a month for the first 6 months. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill. Call 1-800-620-6630 or visit Vonage.com/1999.
I can tell you the secret to younger looking skin. Soy.
Only Aveeno Positively Radiant Anti-Wrinkle Cream unlocks soy's true potential. It's proven to smooth wrinkles while it evens tone.
For younger looking skin naturally.
Positively Radiant Anti-Wrinkle Cream. Only from Aveeno.
Comcast is family entertainment. From styling snowboards to down-to-earth necessities, discover the extraordinary technology behind ordinary things we use every day. How it's made. Back-to-back episodes on Wednesdays starting at 8 p.m. Only on the Science Channel, Comcast Channel 272. Travel through time with the Time Warp Trio. Go to the past and to the future. Time Warp Trio. Only on Discovery Kids, Comcast Channel 121. Summer TV is fun and informative with science and Discovery Kids.
24/7. Come.
New Prudential real estate signs.
Now with Yahoo, very powerful. You'll need to reload.
More than usual.
Our exclusive relationship with Yahoo Real Estate has produced this. Now you can show your home sellers how many buyers are looking in their neighborhood, in their price range.
Even viewing their home online.
The future of real estate is in your hands.
Prudential Real Estate and Yahoo together. The future of real estate now.
Mom helps people find the car they want at a dealer near them. How do we improve that user experience?
Every time you click on a link, new car smell comes out of your computer. You smell that? That's new.
And your idea?
VHIX TV, with helpful video buying guides that make online shopping more fun.
Helpful video buying guides, now at VHIX.com. Just click Autos on Comcast.net.
During the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance, test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord. The new Hyundai Sonata, with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. Great fuel mileage and America's best warranty for $4,500 less than Accord. Now save even more, up to $3,000 cash back on Sonata. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
In the back of the book segment tonight, a look at one of the most dangerous men in the world. Kim Jong-il is North Korea's ruthless dictator. He's said to be unpredictable, brilliant, downright evil. Under his rule, tens of thousands of North Koreans have reportedly been starved, tortured, and killed. Beyond North Korea, he has been taunting the world with threats of a nuclear program, and now he's ratcheting up those threats by test firing 7 missiles over the last 2 days. Joining us now from Washington is Peter Brooks of the Heritage Foundation. All right, Peter, I want to know, first of all, if this guy is stable. You know, he's kidnapped actors and tied them to a chair and made them watch movies with him. He claims that in his first round of golf, he had 11 holes in one. He ordered his portrait in every home. He directs movies in a production place that he started. And they claim he was born in a cabin on a sacred mountaintop with a double rainbow. I mean, come on, this guy is, and he's messing around with nukes.
Right. Well, you're dealing with a cult of personality here. I mean, this person is supposed to be the ideal North Korean man, the ideal North Korean leader. But don't be fooled. We should not underestimate this person. There's a number of other things out there, John, about him as well. I mean, he was behind a lot of North Korea's early terrorist actions against South Korea, and he killed South Korean cabinet members. He brought down a South Korean airliner. That goes back to the 1980s. But the idea here is that he has to create this sort of Potemkin village, this cult of personality, to be able to hold on to the reins of power in North Korea, because he doesn't offer the North Korean people much of anything at all.
You know, Peter, the reason I bring it up, it's one thing to be a fanatic. It's another thing to be nuts, because you can sometimes, I guess, you can speak to a fanatic. If somebody's mentally unstable, you can't even have a conversation with him. What you're saying is you think he is stable. He's just a manipulator. And all right, is he in charge? I remember they had these stories that were in the paper where they were yanking his portrait down off of buildings and in these public squares. And there was some theory that maybe the military was going to move on this guy. Those stories have gone away. What do you know?
Well, I think he's firmly in charge. I mean, he looks through the world through a different prism than the rest of us do, and so he does things that we find to be very unusual, and we should find them very unusual. But I think he is firmly in charge. What he does, John, is he uses the money that he's able to bring into the country, and a lot of this through illegal means such as trafficking narcotics, methamphetamine, heroin, fake Viagra, counterfeiting U.S. dollars, selling ballistic missiles. And what he does is he buys off the other power leaders in North Korea, especially the military. Now, there have been limited stories about uprisings, some civil disobedience, even some individual disobedience in terms of North Korea. But he's not afraid to throw people in the gulag. There are 200,000 people in North Korean political prison camps today out of a country of 22 million. Another thing, John, is that he's starved over 2 million people out of those 22 million over the last 10 years to pursue nuclear weapons, to pursue ballistic missiles, and a conventional army that ranges over 1 million men.
Is there an underground movement, Peter? You sort of speak 200,000 in prison. There are tapes constantly being smuggled out of there. How significant is the underground movement in this country?
It's not significant enough. there are probably between 30,000 and 300,000 North Korean refugees in northern China. They're able to go back and cross the border. Imagine in a country that's impoverished like North Korea, corruption works. If you can bribe a guard and get back and forth across the border to bring food for your family, to bring in money, other things, to work abroad, I mean, this sort of stuff actually goes on. But the underground movement isn't significant enough. It's very limited. This is the most repressive state in the world.
Last question. We're running out of time here. When he does things like this, if the world unanimously condemns him, does that then put ideas in the military that maybe this guy's too crazy, he's got to go?
Well, that's a possibility, but the question is, John, what do you get if he's overthrown? Do you get something worse?
Yeah, his father was a nutcase, too. Peter, thanks for being with us. Thank you very much.
John.
And coming up, a new internet scam that is targeting underage cheerleaders, a must-see for all parents when The Factor continues, and we'll be back in just a second.
With a 5-star crash safety rating, the smooth-riding Mercedes-Benz M-Class is safe no matter where you sit. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a 2006 ML350.
What are you doing?
Getting ready for my test.
A test? What subject?
Cholesterol.
Are you nervous?
Well, last time I didn't do so great.
You?
Yeah, but I'm getting extra help.
Cheerios is the only leading cold cereal proven to lower cholesterol.
Grandpa, I hope you score 100 on your test.
Well, I'm shooting for something like 190.
Night and day.
Frank Sinatra, the first artist to create the concept album.
I've got you.
Each concept album, as originally conceived by Frank, contains its own theme. In the wee small hours, Only the Lonely, Come Fly With Me. These are just a few of the themes you'll enjoy in this 14-CD music collection. Frank Sinatra, the concept album.
I got the world on a string.
All 189 songs were originally selected and sequenced by Frank himself to create these special edition concept albums.
Those sighs, they're part of the tender track.
And only through this exclusive TV offer can you own all 14 concept albums housed in this collector's box. And each CD jacket is the original album artwork.
You're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
This special Sinatra music collection is a true piece of musical history and made available only through this special TV offer for just 4 easy payments of $29.98. Call now and we'll also include this 20-page Sinatra booklet free.
I get no kick from champagne.
You're guaranteed to fall in love with all 14 concept albums. Listen to them with your friends and family and enjoy his music for years to come.
Small hours of the morning, day in, day out.
Remember, this special edition Frank Sinatra music collection is not sold in stores, so call now and get yours today.
Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try.
Call now to order Frank Sinatra, the concept albums on 14 CDs, 189 songs for only 4 payments of $29.98, plus $9.95 shipping and handling, or order online at SinatraCollection.com. Rush delivery available. Call now.
In the second Factor flashback segment tonight, a disturbing story involving underage girls and the internet. This video shows underage cheerleaders that are captured on video by adults. The video is edited in provocative ways and sold online. All of this without the permission of the teenagers involved. Bill recently spoke with LA attorney Ram Bamye, who is representing 6 Santa Barbara cheerleaders who showed up on the net.
This is outrageous. I mean, I just want to explain just a second that they take these videos of these 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and then they take them into the editing room and they zero in on parts of the body and they slow-mo and they do all this kind of stuff that didn't really happen. And then they market it. So who are you going after?
We're going after, right now, the person that we know made the videotape and distributed it over the internet, a gentleman named Mr. Eric Arredondo. Mr. Arredondo apparently has been selling these videotapes for quite some time. And how we're going after him at this point is we're trying to cooperate with law enforcement and hoping that they will do what's right and prosecute Mr. Arredondo for his criminal behavior.
Who is he?
Well, I don't know much about him at this point. We know that he marketed himself on eBay as a cheerleader lover, and that he marketed these tapes on eBay over a period of, we believe, at least 3 months. However, the cheerleading video that you're looking at is called Hot Cheerleaders Number 9. We have only viewed that videotape. We have yet to see cheerleader videos 1 through 8.
Now, he charges $70 for these things or something like that?
On eBay, it's a bidding system, so he's charged upwards from $14 to $70, actually. And you could tell that based on the responses he gets to people who have purchased his this video.
All right. Now, did he break any criminal law, do you know?
Yes, we dispute the Santa Barbara Police Department's point of view. I was a prosecutor for 10 years in Ventura County. And in California, we have the sexual exploitation of children's laws, where if you do videotape the sexual genitalia of minors, and you do so for the sexual stimulation of others, you've committed a felony. In this case, we believe it has been committed. We're encouraging the Santa Barbara Police Department and the Santa Barbara DA's office to file charges. We're still doing some research on whether those tapes were sold or marketed or
you ought to get the state
produced
police.
in Ventura County.
You ought to get the state police involved too. I mean, if Santa Barbara doesn't want it, go statewide.
Well,
you might even get the FBI involved, because I'm sure he sold across state lines. So get everybody involved and get them, because you're right. This is a terrible exploitation of children.
And we're going after him as aggressively as we can. And I'm here tonight to tell Mr. Arredondo to be ready. And what we can't do criminally, we will do civilly. Thank God we have the support of the school district in our county that is also seeking to restrain him from his activities.
All right. Well, you have our support too, Counselor.
Appreciate
that. Anything you need, you let us know. We hope you get this guy.
And that is it for us today. As always, we want to thank you for watching The Factor. I hope you'll remember my program. It's called Heartland. It's on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. That's right, Saturday nights at 8 o'clock here on Fox. Got to tell you, I think it's a great one. And also, I want to tell you about my new book, Stand for Something, The Battle for America's Soul. It's not a political book, but rather one that encourages us not to sell out our character and our integrity for success and money. I think we need a big dose of that, whether it comes from me or somebody else. Hannity and Combs is up next. They're going to have Oliver North. He's always excellent. I'm sure he's going to talk about the Korean crisis. Well, I'm John Kasich reporting